Hello, it's now time for Shooting the Shindig.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Garr.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
Boy, a lot of things going on in the country these days.
Country's coming apart.
Sure is.
And it's not an exaggeration to say that.
No.
That's what's really frightening. Because, you could have political opinions.
Of course.
And say, our country's going to hell.
That's right. It's going to pot.
But it's going to hell for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, the erosion of civil liberties. It's funny, Gar. Something I've talked about with some other people, maybe you as well. Leading into the first Trump administration, I was not happy with it, with him being elected. Surprise, surprise. And I was concerned because of the rhetoric and stuff. But I didn't think that things were going to fundamentally change as a country.
So fast.
Well, and for the first term, there was
guardrails.
Yeah, it was more or less true. It's wild how quickly into this second term things immediately became insane.
Yeah.
In terms of just in terms of
It's because he put all the oligarchs in charge.
Yeah. Well, he tried to do that last time, but with the court and the
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's oligarchs in charge. People focus on Trump, and they just push him out there to say crazy things.
Sure.
But they're behind the scenes. They're taking it apart. Thiel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy's the Antichrist. Peter Thiel, that guy's a monster.
Garr.
Yeah.
Those are the people we should be focused on. Not focused on Trump, because he's going to die. I think he's going to die soon.
And his movement dies with him. There won't be a figurehead anymore.
He won't be a figurehead, but those people will still be there.
No, they sure. Oh, absolutely. Those people aren't going away. But I'm saying is there won't be a dude for them to coalesce around.
Right.
So I think that it'll dissipate. So they gotta do as much fucking while they can. The villains.
How do you stop people with all the money in the world?
That's
to
right.
buy their own armies?
That's right.
I mean, it's been done. They've been kicked out of, what was it, Switzerland?
I'm not sure I know what you're thinking of.
Talking out of
yeah. But anyway, it's been done.
It's been done, and it can be done. The problem is money.
Yeah.
We're stuck on money, and we're stuck on capitalism, and how do we get out of it?
That's right.
And now it's global.
Oh, exactly. I mean, capitalism kind of has to be global, right? That's we had to industrialize and have this global set of trade, because then you can fuck over the workers in other countries while fucking over the workers in your country.
Correct. Yeah. Or America fucking over the workers in China.
Exactly. Right.
For years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Exploiting all the just you at home. Go and look and see where your underwear's made, right? Some wage slave in Vietnam or wherever, Bangladesh made that, right? That's globalization of the proletariat.
And meanwhile, those people are out of jobs here.
That's exactly. You fuck them on two levels. Yeah, exactly. That was, with NAFTA, right? Put so many American manufacturers out of business, but then also because it flooded the Mexican market with all this cheap, subsidized American corn, you put the corn farmers in Mexico out of business. You just fuck all these people over.
Right.
And another thing, and then we'll get back to talking about how this affects politics, but we're currently in a time period where the CEOs of companies, by and large, are all about not even making money for the company, but increasing stock value in the short term, quarter to quarter. And so you just pump stuff, and then who cares about the company? You've left, you got your bonus.
Right. You got yours.
Yeah, so it's not even good for, it's absolutely late stage capitalism. And,
Yeah.
But once nobody has any money, no one's going to be able to buy your Watsits anymore.
I look at shows like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Where they've got all the people sitting there and somebody tries to sell them on their idea.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm there, they're talking about expanding and bringing on large companies. And what they're doing is they're squelching the idea of small business, because if you've got a small business that's got something, you're going to want to sell out to a corporation. And then you get yours, and then it goes on its merry way.
Exactly.
I was watching Father of the Bride with Steve Martin and Diane Keaton, and I was thinking how quaint it was, because he lives in San Marino, which is a wealthy area in Pasadena, Mississippi. He lives in a nice house, and he runs his own business making tennis shoes. And I'm thinking, that wouldn't be today, because he was in the factory, he's in the factory where they make the shoes, and years ago, it was Nike and others thought, okay, well, we'll just export the work to China, get them made cheaper, and import them back. And that's how everything is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not small businesses anymore. It's not even medium-sized businesses. You get swallowed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
These people go on Shark Tank. What they're supposed to do is sell out to a shark who's going to sell them out for a big profit.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you just end up with one mega corporation that owns everything.
Right. Well, that's where we're getting to.
Yeah.
That's what is in the minds of these people that are the Thiels. And they're thinking that. They're bringing Russia in on it. And that's now the big thing, because this deal that they made for Ukraine, you've read about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a deal for Ukraine at all.
Right.
It's for Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But what the oligarchs get is rights to Russian oil, several other assets in exchange. Trump talking about making a resort at Gaza.
I know. That's insane.
What you do is you fine-tune it till all that's left is that.
Oh, yeah.
Small businesses, contractors. Yeah, it can't sustain. And, the money in politics, Citizens United was a disaster.
That's the biggest single...
Created, it created the problems that we've got.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you could be a mom and pop business anymore.
Right.
You're either bought by a corporation or you don't do as well.
That's right. The corporation squeezes you out.
Yeah, they squeeze you out.
Yeah, exactly. Amazon can deliver whatever tomorrow, and so that's why you got to go and support your local businesses.
Yeah, and then their impetus for it is, well, it's better for the consumer.
Right.
Because they get a better deal. It's happened that wages have not gone up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, what, $7?
$7.35 or whatever it is, yeah.
Not that anybody's going to get a job doing that. It's going to be at least $9
Sure,
an hour.
Sure.
But even still, the requirement that we're not required to pay you $9 an hour.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't kept up with inflation, let alone productivity.
It hasn't for years.
No, long time.
And I remember those years, like when Reagan cut the tax. Mm-hmm. Companies and corporations used to have to pay 78% tax. Mm-hmm. Reagan lowered that to 20-something.
Sounds right, yeah.
Now it's even less, and I think they're going to make it even less than that.
And some of them are able to get away with paying basically none. Like, Amazon frequently pays no tax, which is insane. Think about all that money that could be going into...
Yeah. Well, and then you're woke if you want to require that the corporations pay more.
That's right, that's right.
They get a word...
Yeah.
And they vilify it. They say this word, it means bad, so we're going to call this person that word, that person that word.
Well, yeah, and it's like, it doesn't mean anything. And to the extent that it means something at all, right? They're like, oh, you don't want to be woke. It's like, so you want to be asleep? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because that's what, that's how it originates.
Right? And then the poor souls who try and set everybody straight and say, woke doesn't mean that. It means having compassion. And, and it is. That's what it is.
Sure.
It means. But these poor souls who try and convince people that don't care and probably know.
Yeah, and who cares? At the end of the day, lean into it and make it just even more ridiculous of a thing for them to call people and then be like, what? You call me woke? What's wrong with you? What does that even mean? What a loser. You're a crybaby snowflake over there calling stuff woke.
Yeah, and then a snowflake. That was another one.
That wasn't a libtard. They love that one.
Yeah.
They think that's so funny and clever, and it's really not. It really makes you sound like a fifth grader.
Yeah. The Republicans are trying to bring back the word retarded.
Yeah, yeah.
The R word.
The R word.
They call
it. Yeah.
Republican?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the fact that we have team sports rather than governance, it's about which team is going to win.
Well, and that's a problem with with this two-party system we have. Like, it's a race to the bottom, and it hyper reduces. It's very reductive in terms of like policy, because it's, there's what this team likes, and then this team likes the other stuff. So you got to pick one,
and it's got to be the opposite.
It's got to be that. Well, yeah, of course, right? So it's a whole list, and you have to, even though the American voter might like some of column A and some of column B.
But that's what democracy is supposed to be.
Right.
It's supposed to be some of column A and some of column
but no, you gotta, column A is good and column B is literally the devil, right? Not that the Republican Party isn't crazy. And then there are things that the parties either both like, and then we don't get to talk about it, or they both hate, and we don't get to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Those things don't get to be, you have to support whatever the new war is, because that's what's good and American. And we can't possibly talk about reforming the economic system, because that's, that's red.
Yes. What are you, a socialist?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's another thing. The word socialist becoming a bad word. And yet so much of our society is socialist. That's what the New Deal was.
New Deal.
But not just that, everyday stuff like police and fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's publicly funded, community-serving stuff. Or at least hopefully, right? The police sometimes maybe not, but
Well,
that's
that doesn't mean
the
there's
idea.
not problems with things.
Sure. No. I was making that.
And that's another thing, is if there's a problem with something, that must mean all of it is bad.
And you gotta throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, you gotta start again.
That's right. Couldn't possibly. But see, the funny thing about that is they're like, well, the other thing has to be perfect, otherwise we can't do it. It's like, well, what about the thing that you're assuming, right? Like, why do only the alternatives have to be perfect when the starting point isn't perfect?
Right.
You just like it because it's where you are right now.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's the best possible thing.
Well, bipartisanship used to be pretty common. That kind of thing started with Reagan, too.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Nixon started the EPA?
Oh, yeah, I know.
One of the worst presidents.
Oh, yeah.
Corruption.
Oh, yeah. Very corrupt. Although, he's an easy one to point to, but there have been several really corrupt administrations.
Yes. Yeah.
Warren G. Harding, right? Teapot Dome. Laughably corrupt. Like, stupid corruption.
Yeah.
Like, the Grant administration, ridiculously corrupt. Reagan's administration, very corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of Reagan and Grant, maybe you want to say, well, was he in on it or whatever? Well, I'm talking about the administration in general, right?
Right.
I think Reagan was in on it some, but also was kind of a dope.
Well, yeah.
Mommy poo pants.
Yeah. Well, he was the governor of California.
He was.
Before that.
I know.
I remember my parents really liked him when he was the governor.
People liked him.
Well,
he's affable.
People were becoming afraid of crime.
So yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy.
Which is plural of fungus.
That's right. He's a funny guy.
Well, as I say, he just says crazy stuff.
He does.
And they love it. Behind the scenes, they love it.
Oh, yeah.
Calls attention off of what they're doing.
Exactly. Focus on that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Plus, it riles his base up, and they're like, oh, yeah. Well, he's been saying a couple things recently that people in his base didn't like. Every time that happens,
Well, the piggy thing was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
And especially if you watch the video, and he does that, makes that face and points his finger.
Classic.
Quiet, piggy.
Yeah, but they love stuff like that. They're like, oh, yeah. He gets to say the things that I want to say. But then did you see his meeting with Zohran Mamdani?
Well, I saw the press questions.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, Trump was loving it. He was all nice to him.
Yeah. Oh, Mamdani, yes.
Yeah, Mamdani, yeah.
That was a weird thing. For everybody, it was weird. It was almost uncomfortable for everyone.
Yeah.
Democrat and Republican alike.
Yeah, well, I don't know that it didn't make me uncomfortable, but the Republicans got mad about it. Some of the MAGA guys got mad about it. They're like, oh, what's he doing? And then some of the right-wing people were trying to spin it as him setting Mamdani up to fail or whatever. And okay, because it's a bad look for them. If he's like, oh yeah, we both want New York to be good. I like him, or whatever he said. We both want what's best for New York. See, whereas I feel like if you're Mamdani, I think that's savvy because you go there, talk to the guy, he likes you, whatever, and then he doesn't put troops in your city, and I think it's savvy.
Well, Trump put the ball in Mamdani's court during their meeting.
How so?
Well, talking him up.
Yeah.
Smiling.
Yeah, one of those guys is a much smoother operator. But he's a much savvier dude. I think the ball was kind of already in Mamdani's court. Trump's not a mastermind, puppeteer.
Yeah, but it's thought by his followers he gets the upper hand.
Yeah, exactly. He has the art of the deal, He gets the best deals.
Yeah. And he's hanging out a lot more with Melania these days.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed.
He's made her come to the White House.
Oh, okay. So she's staying there again? Because when it started, she wasn't.
At some point, they're holding hands.
Oh, she didn't even slap it away.
She didn't slap it away.
Oh,
So I think somebody's been talking to her.
Yeah, she got a prescription of Act Right.
Because she has a book and that special.
Oh, okay.
That she was paid a whole bunch of money for.
Of course. Yeah, it's one grift after another.
Yes, and hey, wait a minute, what's that immigrant doing getting all that?
That's right. That's an American job she stole.
Uh-huh. Being the first lady and everything.
First lady and all that. Plus, she's a chain immigrant, right? Because then they brought her parents over.
That's right.
This Slovenia to America pipeline. Back in my day, we didn't like the Slovenians.
Fast-venians.
The Vesuvians.
Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani. Well, I sure did love watching him beat Andrew Cuomo, because I hate that guy.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him. Yeah, I know. What a
touchy-feely.
Now, see, that's another example of the Democratic establishment, who, of course, didn't want Mamdani, should have pushed Andrew Cuomo out and then put in whoever they actually wanted.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, not Eric Adams and not...
That's correct.
Cuomo, but I'm sure they could have found another ghoul to put in there.
They didn't want...
Cuomo, yeah.
Cuomo,
yeah, so they saddled themselves with Cuomo, and then, well, you got Zohran. That's what you get, So, now, of course, I'm happy about it, but yeah. It's a bit of a misplay on their part. It's like running Hillary Clinton.
I'm a liberal person, but I constantly say that's why people hate Democrats.
Yeah, for sure. I hate the Democrats immensely. A bunch of spineless losers.
Well, their corporations are paying for them, too.
That's right. That's the problem.
If you want a corporation to give you money, you better say what we want.
That's right. And then they're like, oh, well, it's not, it's speech, right? They're just talking to them. I'm like, yeah, that's right. But, let's see how fast that dries up if I'm hitting them in their pocket, right? It's quid pro quo if you're not 5 and can understand. You act in a way they like, and then they continue to give money to you, right?
Right.
Just because they don't say, here, vote this way on this bill, there you go. Right?
Yeah.
Put 2 and 2 together.
They have a couple of layers that they add to it, so that
we love the layers. It just adds to the cake of life.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
So we're screwed not just because of Trump and the oligarchs.
No.
But the Democrats are who we've got.
Yeah, no, we got a feckless team on the other side, and they're all bought and paid for. So
they're all bought and paid for.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's why that's the most important issue is campaign finance reform. Because nothing else, there's other important issues, the climate being the most important one, except maybe nuclear proliferation, because those can actually end us as a species. But you can't get any of that done until you get the money out of politics, because then otherwise you just have to do with whatever the corporations want.
Right.
You don't have a say otherwise, you just get to pick the face on the coin. Not to say that the Democrats aren't better than Republicans. They are. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But for the corporate stooges, similar.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Republicans have all this, racist, bigoted stuff that they're doing. And all this militarization in the various cities, and ICE. ICE has gone crazy.
ICE is just dopes.
It's just dudes off the street.
Advertisements.
I know. And I'm like, man, I want $50,000. And it's all people, the requirements are so low. It's the lowest common denominator. It's people who couldn't make it as cops or as in the military. And they're just like, oh, I want to beat up on some brown people.
Yes. Well, the real travesty is our military.
Oh, yeah.
I predict that the military is going to get us out of this.
Yeah. People been saying.
I've been saying it for a long time, but it seems to be escalating now. You got the Mark Kelly thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Yeah, Pete Hegseth, just in general, is...
Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him. He's always coked up and puts his foot in his mouth, read the military all the time.
Well, that was so pathetic, him talking to the generals.
I know. We're not going to have any fat
They all sat there stone-faced as he said, we don't want any fat soldiers and no beards. We don't want facial hair.
No beardos.
And then Trump comes out, and they didn't give him the applause that he wanted.
Yeah.
He was upset about that. It was like, they're not going for it.
Yeah.
And what these people said was the truth. It wasn't a lie. that you don't need to obey orders that are illegal.
I mean, that's on the big plaque at West Point. It's not like a Mark Kelly original. Like, that's a quote from the...
Yeah.
Also, like, we already litigated this back in World War II. It's like, no,
Right.
you don't get a free ride just because you were following orders.
Yeah. Well, My Lai Massacre.
Yeah.
I remember that as a kid.
Following orders.
Following orders, yeah. And it goes against every self-help.
Yeah.
Don't follow the orders of people that will lead you astray.
Right. But, I guess that's woke. You should just be asleep and just follow whatever orders.
Now, that's another thing. When Trump came into office this time around, he announced end to DEI.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's something that is nebulous enough that's not quite there to where you can pin it down to where you could say that and everybody kind of scratches their head.
Yeah. Well, it's dog whistle. And it allows you to be like, oh, well, this person was a DEI hire.
Yes.
They're not actually qualified.
Correct. Yes. We need DEI.
Yeah.
That's just a basic rule of life to follow.
Yeah, you should have some diversity in things. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of people with the same mindset coming up with ideas.
Right.
Yeah. And, like, it's not, some people are like, oh, well, we don't want, it's not find underqualified people just to fill a quota,
yes,
right?
And that doesn't mean that, yes.
Yeah, tokenism's bad, right? Tokenism is itself racist. To be like, oh, well, we just got to put a black guy in there. Like, that's not right. That's not good for black people or white people.
It's not good for anybody.
It's not good for anybody. But there are qualified people out there, who, maybe get sort of edged out.
No doubt. And we have a history of it.
We do. Yeah, I know. We used to learn from our history back in my day.
It's things like that, like the requiring DEI, that keep people in line about things.
Yeah.
Because now without it, they can just say, we're not going to hire you because you're brown.
That's right. And, invent some other reason that the courts will be okay with and be like, there you go.
And how stupid. What a stupid way to run a country.
What would LBJ think about all that? We got so much civil rights shit done in the 60s.
Yes.
LBJ was a man on a mission. And then he passed the Civil Rights Act of 64, and people were like, all right, slow down. He's like, I don't have time to slow down.
Just getting started.
Yeah. Sit down and shut up. I got stuff to do. Yeah.
Well, the Voting Rights Act.
The Voting Rights Act, exactly. The Civil Rights Act of 68, which deals with housing and stuff. No more redlining. Early Start, Medicaid and Medicare expansion.
Head Start.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Now, see, that's the good stuff. That's what a scary socialist government can do for you.
The thing that's funny about that kind of stuff to me is how much something that's functional benefits people that would otherwise be dysfunctional, like the ACA. It benefits everybody. It benefits everybody to be DEI, to be woke. It benefits everybody.
That's right.
It's not hard to find examples.
Benefits everybody to, help out the working class and the poor and the homeless, like that helps us all.
Socialism.
Socialism.
You help one, you help us all.
That's right. Together we are strong.
Yeah. This authoritarian stuff is unstable. It's an unstable chemical or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
So it doesn't last long.
That's right.
It only lasts as long as the authoritarian. But now Trump is hoping to do what other authoritarians have done, put his sons there in his place.
Yeah, but his sons are even more incompetent, or at least the older two are. Like, Trump at least is really good at, like, messaging and, like, rally. He's a good pitchman, He's a savant at that. His kids are really stupid.
Yes.
Or, Eric and Donnie Jr. I'm talking about.
Yes.
Although, I don't know, maybe you get Ivanka in there.
Or see Trump said if she wasn't his daughter, he'd be dating her.
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
I know, it's gross.
And is there any doubt that he would be leching on young girls at the Epstein?
I know.
Ranch?
Well, he used to go to the...
He loved it.
He had the Miss... I get them all confused.
Miss Tits and Ass.
And Miss Tits and Ass, right?
Universe.
No, he's Miss USA, right?
Oh, okay.
I get them all confused. They all have the same name. Miss America, Miss USA. Anyway, and so he would, like, hang out in the dressing rooms of, like, Miss Teen USA or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they were dressing.
They
let you grab them by the pussy. You get to do what you want when you're a celebrity.
You're a celebrity, yeah. Moved on her like a bitch. Wow. I know.
What used to get me and other people that are thinking in the first time with Trump, we spent a lot of time trying to convince the dopes. Yeah. Like, look, here's the evidence. Look, it's right here.
I don't care.
Belief overtakes it every time.
He loves the Christians. He loves the uneducated.
He said that, yes. And he even said it to him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you don't have to lie, why would you? That's just extra work. You just say quiet part out loud, and they're like, yeah, he thinks like I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus, they've demonized education anyway. It's like, the Department of Education needs to be abolished, and you shouldn't go to college because that's where they make libos.
Yeah, and the dumb people don't think, wait a minute, okay, if they're all liberal because they go to college, is it because the college is indoctrinating them?
Yeah.
Or could it be that they're getting smarter?
Yeah, it could be that they're like thinking about things and being exposed to a diversity of opinions.
A bigger world.
Yeah.
Well, they use that on the dumb people. They're trying to indoctrinate your children. They come back all liberal. There's a reason for that.
Exactly.
Remember years ago I was telling my nephew when he was starting college, I said, just be open.
For sure.
Because now's your chance. Because I was afraid he was going to be indoctrinated Christian values.
Right.
That's we've talked about this, the red flag of homeschooling.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. There's so many things wrong with that. Beyond just what you're talking about, also, oftentimes parents aren't as good at teaching as like a real teacher. And then also, like, I think a big part of your like pre-university schooling is socializing, right? Like it's how you learn. You interact with kids all day.
You learn from others.
Yeah, and you learn things like deadlines and being on time for things, and all this like soft socialization. The hidden curriculum of school. And so you see kids who are homeschooled and they're weird.
Yeah,
they don't know how to interact normally. Because you were denied that a lot of the time.
I think that's probably most of it for me. For my daughter is I want her to socialize.
Yeah.
When I was in school, I learned a lot from other kids.
For sure.
Because you learn from the teacher, and then you discuss whatever.
Yeah.
What about this assignment? Well, I found it over here. Oh yeah. So it's.
Well, not just academic learning, various kinds of social learning, right? And you learn how to treat people and how to be treated, and you have your peers. And that teaches you about like friendships and like work relationships, and then you have the teacher, and that teaches you about like power imbalance relationships, like you and your boss, or you and some other superior. And yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, absolutely, big thing. But on top of that, then if you're some sort of conspiratorial thinker or cultist or weird religious person or whatever, then you can also be like craft them into your mold.
Get with the other kids that are like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well. That's where it starts, I guess, for society overall.
Always where it starts. It always starts at the home.
Yeah.
It's the primary agent of socialization.
Socialize.
We got to be social. Going back to the crazy stuff that they're doing behind the scenes or whatever, I didn't know what was going on with the Federal Trade Commission. I hadn't really been hearing about that.
Wait.
The FTC?
What's happening?
Well, so the FTC is led by, I don't call it a board, I forget what they call it, but there's like 5 dudes. One of them is the chief one. I want to call it like a board and chairs, but that's not what the terminology is. But anyway, and no more than 3 can be a member of the same party. That could be, some people are independent or whatever, but like, so you don't have like 4 Democrats and 1 Republican, or 4, 5 Republicans, or, you have to have a mixture of people. And they're elected to like 7-year terms or something like that, I don't remember. And if someone gets fired and someone else goes in there, it's like senators, it's the same term, right?
Right.
They fill out the remainder. Anyway, so Trump fired like 2 or 3 of them, and so now there's just, and then someone else resigned, so there's just 2 Republican dudes on the thing, and he just hasn't appointed anybody new. We'd have to appoint a couple of Democrats, so there's only 2 out of the 5 currently.
Why would they just say, we're going to abolish that, we're not going to do that anymore?
Well, they could do that. I don't know if, clearly they think that that's something that maybe they can't do, otherwise they just would, but they can also just not fill the thing. Now technically that violates, it's unconstitutional. You can only dismiss them for actual job reasons, right? You can't dismiss them because you don't like them.
So are these people suing the government
for
their job loss?
No, I don't think so. That's a good question. Anyway, so that's something that I hadn't heard about until just a couple of weeks ago. Lena Khan, who was the previous, again, it's not the chairman, but whatever you call the FTC commissioner.
Sounds like
yeah, right. I don't know.
Name.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw an interview with her, unrelated to this, and then that sort of got me down the rabbit hole. I didn't even realize that. Anyway, I don't think they're suing to get their jobs back. Yeah, okay, so the head person is the chairman, and then the other people on the board are called...
Chairs.
Yeah, chairs. That's what I thought, but... Oh, they're called commissioners. Okay, so the lead one is the chair, and the others are called commissioners.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so makes sense, because it's a commission, so they're commissioners.
And there's 2 of them left now.
There's 2 left. Yeah, there's the head guy and some other guy, and they're both Republicans, because he fired 2 Dems.
See, this doesn't work out good for Republicans either.
It doesn't, but how so?
Well, man, so many ways.
What? Yeah, well, yeah, for
So
sure.
many ways. Also add to it the fact that if you were behind him, that doesn't mean he's behind you. And so there's been all kinds of people that he's fucked over.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of enemies.
Yeah. Well, and this is theoretically his last term, so he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. He can just fuck over whoever he wants now. He can just do whatever.
Well, he's talking about having multiple terms. I
Yeah.
think he's going to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's healthy enough. But at least he's not, well, who knows, grabs him by the pussy.
Yeah.
Regardless.
You got to. I mean, when you're a celebrity, they let you do it.
Let you do anything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got Billy Bush cackling like a little schoolgirl.
He's still on the air. You're saying he's off the air. I saw him.
Oh, he was off the air.
He hosts one of those entertainment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was off the air for a while. I mean, that was back in 2015 or 16 when the tape leaked, and then he had to, he apologized, and he was.
How is he related to a Bush?
He is like George Bush's brother's son. So like
nephew.
So he's the nephew of George W., I believe. I don't remember. He's somebody's brother's kid. Because he's like, I think he actually is George H.W. Bush's youngest brother's son. So he's like a first cousin to George W. Yeah, because there's a bunch of that Bush gang. Yeah, he's the cousin of W and the nephew of H.W. His dad's Jonathan Bush.
That's where he gets his cackle from.
That's where he gets his cackle from. Okay, he was fired from Today and then was hired by Extra.
Extra, that's what it was. Yes, he does Extra now.
Does Extra.
They figure people forgot by now.
Yeah. Or maybe they're like, and some people won't care.
Some people like that he laughed about grabbing him by the pussy.
It looks like he quit Extra in May and is now and is focusing more on his podcast. Hot Mics with Billy Bush.
All right. Hot Mics with Billy Bush, if you ever want to tune into that.
That's right. We should tune into that later and
get an earful.
Be horrified.
I want to go on the show and talk about pussy grabbing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if you can make him laugh like that.
Yes!
That's what I would do. I would just try and crack up Billy Bush and see if he laughs like that.
See, like completely outrageous.
Oh, yeah. Or like things that make him slightly uncomfortable. Like, because he wanted to say, like, I was uncomfortable during the... I don't think that he was, but...
But I don't think he was genuinely... I think he was doing that uncomfortable with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And with the boys, they're laughing, so I'm going to laugh too.
Could be. He's only following orders, actually.
Yeah, he's... Billy Bush.
Billy Bush, everybody. Oh, man.
You can get together with Gene Simmons. They
can
talk about Trump together.
That's right.
I really liked Tulsa Kings. It's a new show with Sylvester Stallone.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
I watched it, and it's like really good. As soon as I found out that he was endorsing Trump, I won't watch it. I won't even.
It makes sense.
Like if there's a commercial, I'll turn away.
I'll show him.
But he was always kind of like the Republican guy.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know that I knew he was always that way until, this most recent political activism.
And then the Bush twins, I think they were on The View for a while.
Oh, were they?
Or they had their own little show, talk show. All right, so that's our podcast for today.
Thanks for listening in. I've been Eric. This is Garr. Garr, where should they investigate you on the web?
Go to garstudios.com and see what happens.
I recommend it.
And then, of course, you can find Eric
Yeah, I'm on the social media, whatever.
He has a social media too.
Yeah.
His name is Fontenot.
Fontenot, if you want to know, which has a T at the end because French.
Fontenot.
Fontenot, that's right. You want to do that? Fontenot.
Well, what Eric really loves is if you write to him and you tell him when your birthday is.
That's right, I sure do.
He makes a list.
Yeah, it becomes a challenge to see if I can not remember your birthday. And I always end up remembering it. And I wish you happy birthday. And then,
So send
cards and letters. Anyway. All right.
I dig it, I do. I dig it, I do. I really dig it, I do.